think it has better sound quality than just using the microphone for the webcam. But anyway, I want to talk about something that it just like kind of came to me from seeing it on a post today. Okay, one of my friends posed a question on his wall. Do black women feel protected by black men? So, he was looking for the women to respond and say what they thought. So, we all started, kind of explaining like, no, in general, that's not the case. In all actuality, the ones that we need protection from are black men. Because, when you talk about who has access to black women on a daily basis, who street harasses us, who pulls us out of our houses and beats our asses, who molests the kids in the family, who rapes and robs, who does all the stuff, it's black men doing it to black women. Okay, for the most part, not exclusively. So immediately, there's this little troop of dudes in the thread. They jump up with this. Well, if those are your relationships, why did you pick them? You picked them. Okay, so what that does when they do that kind of stuff, they're shifting the blame. They're shifting responsibility from what those guys did that we're talking about, what they did to us, to our kids, to our neighborhood, to our property, what they did to us, quote, choosing them. What choice did I make when I was on the bus and here comes some motherfucker telling me all kind of stupid, foul stuff and then asking me, like one woman was talking about, like, this guy who just came up to her and asked, can he, eat her out and all this old stuff. I mean, where is this choosing? Where do little girls choose to be getting hollered at by grown men down the street? Where do young girls choose to get abducted and sold into sex slavery by these men they don't want to get a job, they just want to pimp somebody? Who chooses a man to come and break in their house and tie them up and rape them and rob them? Who does that? But see, he kind of left all of that out. I'm talking about all this kind of stuff. It's like this is what goes on in the black community. And instead of addressing, well, yeah, we have some, young brothers out here wilding out, blah, 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 and trying to, work with the other dudes and come up with a plan to fix this nonsense, he instead just quickly ditched out and placed responsibility for those men's behavior on women. This is a common problem with men in and out of relationships. Because, nobody's in a relationship with this particular dude. He, just some stranger on the internet. But so many women talk about how guys do this in their relationships, and they try to bring a problem to him, and the first thing he wants to do is kind of flip it around and make excuses and dodge accountability and try to make it her fault that she either made him do it, made him feel that way, or made him treat her that way because of something that she did. It's like, no, it's 100% on you. You chose to be this way and do stuff. It's like in every other aspect, they want you to treat him like a grown man and give him respect and all this old stuff. But as soon as you tell them something that, is bothering you, or something that they slipped up on, or something that you need to check them about, or something they need to do better, more, faster, whatever, then suddenly it's your fault and you made them do it. It's like, no, you can't have it both ways. Either you're a kid and you're taking instructions from your mommy and not doing it very well, by the way, or you're a man and if you fuck up, you own it. That's called being accountable. That's called being responsible. That's called being a man. So you don't dodge out responsibility by saying that it's someone else's fault that you did anything or that you didn't do it. It's your responsibility why it didn't happen or why you did it. And that's the only person whose fault it is. So, this really bothers me because it's such a common thing. It's a common issue when we deal with black men. So I made some notes. I'm like, okay, let's talk about the areas and how this happens. When they decide that they're going to dodge responsibility and blame shift and all that, how does it happen? Generally in these points here. Okay, the first one is denial. You say, well, why did you do such and such, or you didn't do such and such, or why did you say such and such, or you didn't do blah blah blah, whatever. No, I didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't wrong. Okay, immediate defensiveness. And it's like, obviously I'm coming to you with it, so obviously it's wrong. I mean, something you fell off, you did something that you weren't supposed to do, or something happened, and so I'm bringing it to you as a problem to discuss, to resolve. What I don't want to hear is that you didn't do it, because see, now you're trying to do the gaslighting thing, like my reality is false and that you have the right to tell me what I feel and what I think and what I saw. See, that shit right there, that was guaranteed to make me go off like a fucking rocket. And like, I mean, I will say all kind of foul, funky things and super hurt your feelings. And then dudes be like, well, you don't trust me with respect. No, you started this shit, but you with this bullshit here. This, I didn't do anything. The fuck you didn't? Why am I here talking to then? I'm telling you what you did, and you need to own it. You need to listen and then say, wow, okay, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I fucked up. I'll do better. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear. You want to hear like somebody's working with you and making some progress in this relationship. You don't want to feel like you're the only one thinking of some resolution to a situation that's making tensions in your relationship or your household. Because see, that's what he's doing by saying, well, nothing's wrong. I didn't do anything. I don't know what's happening. Okay, that immediately shuts down any and all communication, because you say something and then he flatly denies it. What is that? It's like a dead end. See, that shit right there, that will make me lose my mind. Okay, then the next one is deflection. This technique is often used by the domestic abuser type people, right? So he beats your ass, right? And then when you were crying, he trying to fake some apologize. He comes with this, well, you shouldn't have made me so mad. It's your fault that I got that mad, and it's your fault that I beat you. See, that's deflection. I did this because of something that you did. No, you did it because you are an asshole who can't control your temper. That's why that particular, an example that I gave, that's why that happened. But it happens in a lot of things, like these men like leaving the babies in the car. They're supposed to drop them off at daycare, right? Okay, hello? How is that anybody's responsibility but yours? But they're going to be, oh, well, she should have called and reminded me. Or she should have this, she should have that. No, motherfucker, that was your responsibility. You drove off with the baby in your car. That was your job to do. And you can't even do that, but you want somebody to respect you as man of the household? Not happening. Another technique is they use is derailment. You're talking about something, right? You have an issue. They interject with something that they want to talk about, like, you're saying, well, you didn't do this and that, blah blah blah. Well, what about the time? What about the times when you didn't do blah blah? Okay, so then they just circumvent your complaint and your conversation and take it over with some irrelevant nonsense that if it really bothered them, they would have brought it up a long time ago. But they only bring it up now because it's a tool to use to to throw you off and get you off your complaining track, and to be less accountable and responsible for what they did that you're talking about. They don't want to do that. So that's what that's all about, to derail you. Or they will disrupt you. Now this happens a lot when you I don't know, say you have a routine in the house and you want to adhere to the routine, like say it's cleaning or something like that. He knows every Saturday morning you get up and you clean the house and this and that, blah blah blah. Well, suddenly he's gonna be like, well, I have invited a whole bunch of my friends over, and this and that, so you have to hurry up and clean the house early, or he just stops you from cleaning it altogether. So you're feeling really put out, right? Because this is your routine, this is your home. You want your home to look a certain way. And suddenly he just totally, throws everything off based on what he wants. And it creates some real friction in the house. I mean, all he has to do in a situation like that is go to his friend's house or wait until the house is clean. I mean, that's real simple. I mean, that's not a problem. If he needs the house cleaned faster, do this right here. Roll them up and come on with your sponge and bucket and let's go. But that's not what they do. So and then another trick is, so you're trying to you bringing up your stuff, right? So then he phones to play the pity party. These conversations just really just get me so upset. You just make everything my fault, and I just feel so bad, and You just always attacking men. You hate men. This is the one that they use a lot on the online. You all hate men. You all man haters. You hate black men. Blah 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 blah. Okay, nobody's talking about everybody. We're talking about you in this particular situation. You are not acting right. So, behave yourself. Fix this shit. Make the magic happen. But that's not what they do. So, for women though, when you have men who are in your life and you approach them with issues that you want resolved, and they somehow always flip it around to be your fault, or they have like a litany of excuses why it happened, and none of them are valid, and none of them answer your question. What are you supposed to do? How do you feel in a situation like that? I mean, normally, the woman would feel very disrespected. First, you feel kind of confused. Then you feel disrespected, like your feelings and stuff are not important. Then you get angry because it's like, why do you always treat me like this? Why can't I ever tell you something that's bothering me and you listen to it with respect and the courtesy that I deserve? You say you love me, then listen to me and to work with me to resolve this issue. Don't blow me off like that. It's so disrespectful. And it just, it's infuriating. But a lot of dudes do it. It's, you know, the blame shifting, it goes so far as to, I actually made a video about it some years ago, where, say a woman may want a man and woman are, they're sexing it up, whatever, and the woman ends up pregnant. Well, somehow the guy's like, well, she knew I didn't want to be a father and it's her fault. No, it's not. She doesn't have sperm in her body. It's not her fault. That's you. You did that. But they don't want to own that. Somehow, it's her fault that she's pregnant. But, like it magically happened and she, think, and it just like popped in her belly and he had nothing to do with it and he don't know nothing about how it happened and it's all her fault. So see, that's a perfect example of what I mean about the blame shifting. It's like you was having a jolly good time, all jumping up and down on that mattress. And then suddenly now that there's a baby appearing and that baby gonna be tapping in your wallet, now suddenly all of a sudden, it's a big problem. But I'm just, touching on this subject. I'm sure you guys can go out and observe what I'm talking about. You may even have some examples that you want to share in the comment section. But if this is a reality that you face in a relationship that you're in, you're going to have to basically, sit down with dude and say, this is what you do. This is how you do it. I've noticed it time and time again. It's really not working for me. It's creating problems in our relationship. We have very poor communication, and I want some things to change. I need you to be accountable for what you do and don't do, and the things that you say and don't say, and the actions that you take that damage our relationship or that make me feel like you don't really care about what's going on with our relationship. Those things can be very, very hurtful. And you can't hold that stuff inside. You're going to have to bring it up to him and point it out to him. And then the bottom line though, really ladies, if you got a man who just refuses, because some of the women have been dealing with this stuff for years, because they talk about it on different threads. And this is the way that your guy deals with reality, and you're constantly frustrated with him. I don't know how you do it, because I couldn't have a relationship like that. I would have to dump dude. And it may be, the kind of thing where some people say, well, it's no big deal. Or maybe it's not a big deal to you. But I don't want to be blamed for stuff that I didn't do. And if I make a request to you, I expect for you to hear it and I expect you to act on it. And if you don't act on it, then I expect you to tell me why you can't act on it so that I can make other plans. But don't just sit there and act like you're going to do it and then fall through and leave me hanging. See, that shit will get you stabbed. And I'm just, we're not going to have that. So just if you haven't really noticed it, just pay attention. Watch how quickly these dudes will try to flip some shit around to make whatever they did or whatever they said your fault. And so that everything, it just seems like everything in the world is the fault of the black woman. They blame everything on us. Just practically global warming is probably our fault because the way we cooked collard greens too much or something. I don't know, whatever. But just take a listen to this and think about what I said. And if you have some examples that you want to share about how you got blame shifted on, post them in the comments. This is Deb Cooper signing out. I'll talk to you guys soon.